The quarterfinals have arrived, and the stakes just snapped in half. No more warm-ups, no more second chances. Every nation left has already survived the fire, and now the flames get hotter. Giants have fallen, underdogs have risen, and the tournament script is officially in the shredder. 8 teams, 4 matches, 4 tickets to immortality, and 4 brutal exits waiting to happen. In this video, we're diving into every quarterfinal showdown, the momentum, the pressure, the storylines, and the madness that's about to erupt. Welcome to the Final 8. France arrive in this quarterfinal looking like the tournament's most ruthless machine. 5 matches, 5 wins, 14 goals scored, only 2 conceded. Every performance has felt like a team that knows exactly where it's going and how to get there. They haven't just been winning, they've been suffocating opponents, controlling tempo, and punishing every mistake with cold precision. Morocco, though, are not some Cinderella story stumbling into the last 8. They've been unbeaten from the start, navigating their path with a calmness that almost feels unnatural for knockout football. A 1-1 opener against Brazil set the tone. A gritty win over Scotland showed their discipline. And a wild 4-2 against Haiti proved they can open up when needed. They held the Netherlands at 1-1 to move through the round of 32, and then delivered their most complete performance yet, a commanding 3-0 win over Canada that reminded everyone how dangerous they are when the game breaks open. France's firepower has been the headline of the entire tournament. Kylian Mbappe is operating on another planet. 7 goals already, hitting the target with almost every look he gets and bending matches to his will. Michael Olise has become the team's creative engine, stacking assists and carving out chances from midfield with a calmness that makes France feel inevitable. And Ousmane Dembele has been the chaos factor. 4 goals, 2 assists, and a constant threat every time he picks up the ball in transition. Morocco have their own match winners. Ismail Saibari has been their spark, leading the team in goals and expected goals, always lurking for that one lapse, that one loose touch, that one moment where France switch off. Morocco don't overwhelm you. They wait, they absorb, and they strike with purpose. This matchup is a clash between a team that has dominated every metric and a team that refuses to break. Morocco will make this awkward. They'll slow the rhythm, close the gaps, and try to drag France into a game decided by inches. But France have been the sharper attack, the tighter defense, and the more complete side from the opening whistle of this tournament. If the pattern holds, France should find a way through. Morocco will fight, they'll frustrate, and they'll keep the scoreline honest. But the model, the momentum, and the performances all point in one direction. France are favored to move on. Morocco will make them earn every second of it. 2 of world football's deadliest finishers collide in Miami as Erling Haaland's Norway meets Harry Kane's England in a quarterfinal that feels like a heavyweight fight disguised as an international match. Norway arrive riding the hottest striker on the planet. Haaland's performance against Brazil wasn't just good, it was a statement. After nearly 80 minutes of frustration, missed chances, and Brazil's keeper standing on his head, Haaland finally broke through with a towering header off a perfect shoulder-up delivery. And when Brazil pushed forward late, he punished them again, drilling home a second goal in the 90th minute. 7 goals now in this World Cup, level with Messi and Mbappe, and he's dragging Norway into places they've never been. But the real unsung hero? Orjan Nyland. No club, no spotlight, just pure shot-stopping chaos. He denied Bruno Guimaraes from the spot, then pulled off what might be the save of the entire tournament on a freak deflection that should have been an own goal. Norway's path hasn't been easy. Wins over Iraq, Senegal, Ivory Coast, and a rotated loss to France. But they're battle-tested and they're confident. England, meanwhile, walk in after surviving one of the wildest atmospheres in world football. Mexico City, Azteca, a place where Mexico hadn't lost in 26 straight. and England still found a way.
It started slow until Jude Bellingham decided it was time. One counterattack, one header, and England were rolling. 2 minutes later, he scored again, the fastest brace in England's World Cup history, and suddenly, Mexico were chasing shadows. Even after a red card flipped the match on its head, England kept their nerve. Kane buried a penalty. Mexico clawed back, and the Three Lions held on in a stadium designed to break visiting teams.
Now, it's Holland versus Kane. Norway versus England. A matchup we haven't seen in over a decade, back when Holland was still a teenager dreaming of nights like this. England lead the all-time series, but none of that matters now. Two elite strikers, two nations believing this is their moment. Miami is about to get loud. The quarterfinals bring us a matchup loaded with history, tension, and two completely different paths to this moment. Spain arrive looking every bit like a tournament favorite. They've marched through 5 matches without conceding once, and their latest escape, a stoppage time winner from Mikel Merino, showed they can grind just as well as they can dominate. This is a team built on control, patience, and a backline that simply does not break. Belgium come in with a very different kind of momentum. Their journey has been messy, emotional, and full of fight. They clawed past Senegal in extra time, then survived a wild showdown in Seattle to knock out the United States. For a nation still carrying the scars of a group stage collapse 4 years ago, getting back to the quarterfinals feels like a statement. They're not done yet. These two sides haven't met in nearly a decade, but the history runs deeper than that. Their World Cup record is perfectly balanced, 1 win each. Belgium's breakthrough came back in '86, surviving a penalty shootout in Mexico. Spain answered 4 years later, taking the rematch with a tight 2-1 victory. Now, finally, one of them gets to pull ahead. Spain enter this match with the aura of a team that expects to be here. Belgium arrive with the energy of a team that refuses to let anyone write their story for them. One side is polished, the other is unpredictable. And when they collide, we're getting a quarterfinal that feels like it's been waiting 40 years to happen. Argentina versus Switzerland. Messi versus Xhaka. The World Cup holders against one of the most stubborn teams left in the tournament. And after the chaos of the round of 16, this matchup suddenly feels a lot less predictable than people expected. Argentina come into this quarterfinal as the heavy favorites, but let's be honest, they've been flirting with disaster for 2 straight matches. Cape Verde pushed them deeper than anyone thought, and Egypt exposed cracks in that back line before Argentina needed 3 late goals to survive. For a team that's supposed to be cruising, they've been anything but comfortable. Switzerland, meanwhile, arrive here the hard way. They needed penalties to get past Colombia, and that performance didn't exactly scream giant killer. But writing Switzerland off has burned people before. They're resilient, they're organized, and with Granit Xhaka running the midfield, they can drag elite teams into ugly, uncomfortable games. The real question is simple. Can Switzerland exploit Argentina's shaky defense? Egypt showed it's possible. Switzerland have the structure to do it. But do they have the cutting edge? That's where the doubt creeps in. Argentina's strength is still their depth. They can change shape mid-match, they can rotate attackers, and they can overwhelm teams with pressure. If they get rolling early, Switzerland will struggle to keep up. But if Xhaka slows the tempo, breaks up Argentina's rhythm, and launches those quick counters, this game could get tense fast. Historically, these teams barely have a rivalry. Their only competitive meeting was a 6-0 Argentina win back in 1928. But Switzerland have quietly made the quarterfinals 3 times in their history. They've never gone further, and they know this is another chance to break that ceiling. So what do we get here? A favorite that keeps giving opponents hope, and an underdog that refuses to die. Argentina should advance, but after what we've seen so far, Switzerland are absolutely capable of making this uncomfortable. Write them off at your own risk. The quarterfinals are where the tournament gets truly unforgiving. 4 matches, 4 nations moving on. 4 nations watching their dreams collapse in real time. Every team left has already survived chaos, but now the margin for error is microscopic. One moment of brilliance, one mistake, one bounce. That's all it takes to flip a nation's destiny. And if the round of 16 taught us anything, it's that this World Cup isn't slowing down for anybody. If you're enjoying these previews, hit subscribe so you don't miss the semifinal breakdown, the fan videos, and every twist this tournament still has waiting for us. And drop a comment telling me which quarterfinal matchup you think is about to explode.